Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we are talking about the Ford Motor Company because they're about to create millions of distracted drivers. And here's what's going on, and this is coming by way of Gizmodo. Now, this is what's happening. Ford has patented a new system that uses your vehicle's cameras to detect billboards and then pull them up on your car's infotainment display, essentially making inescapable in-vehicle advertisement a reality. This is something I actually wrote about years ago that I thought Google was going to go this route. Apparently Ford is beating them to the punch. Now, here's what's going on. Billboards are obviously an effective way to basically subliminally make a driver hungry or convince them they need to pull off the road to buy whatever it is that's on the billboard, etc., etc. But what billboards aren't great at is providing detailed information like phone numbers, addresses, a website, etc., etc. Even though it's large signage, it's not visible for that long. You're just driving past it down the highway and you'll see like McDonald's exit 3, those kinds of things. And that's basically it. They're just guiding you to where you want to go, but it's not good at delivering that kind of information. And that is the problem that Ford is trying to solve, quote unquote, with this new patent. Now, many vehicles obviously come standard with built-in cameras that are used for autonomous driving features, security. For example, mine has a camera that basically pops up on my dashboard the speed limit. So it'll read a speed limit sign, it's 55 miles an hour or whatever, and it will pop up on my thing. So as I look down at my speedometer, I can see where I am relative to the 55 mile an hour or whatever the speed limit is. But what Ford wants to do is leverage those basically cameras to look at billboards as well, and then basically have an image recognition system that would then convert that into an advertisement that would go on your screen. The system would also intelligently analyze the content of the billboard and then generate hyperlinks, which are basically going to be very easy, especially if your phone is connected to anything, so it can go to your phone or your infotainment system as well, and you can tap on it and then pull up that company's information. So if you're passing that McDonald's billboards, and they're everywhere, it will pop up on your phone. You can, or on your screen in your car, you can tap it, interact with it, go to their website, that kind of stuff. Now, Ford could potentially even work with advertising agencies or the companies responsible for the billboard so that upcoming and new advertisements would provide ahead enough time, basically would be provided enough time to train the system so it could better recognize what it's seeing from Ford and then create customized URLs. Maybe we're going to start seeing billboards with kind of like the 3D barcode that essentially the car can scan and instantly pull that information. And so you might be driving by a billboard that's, talking about McDonald's or whatever. And essentially, passengers in the car could then possibly be given the option of watching an ad on the infotainment system. So that's the thing. And the article states, the keywords being given the option, because one day that might not be the case. And I think that is where we're heading. And that is an article I wrote back in 2015 or so. Now, similar to like what you have with the Kindle from Amazon, the e-reader, essentially it advertises books on its lock screen, but you can pay more to go ahead and get that removed. And so one day your car might actually come with a discount if you're willing to endure random ads popping up on the dashboard every time you pass a billboard. Or, conversely, if you basically want a car without those ads, you might have to buy the peace and quiet package, or something like that to basically pay a premium not to be advertised. Now, I think there's obviously a lot of different concerns with this. First and foremost would be a distracted driver. The last thing I would want to see, especially if I'm using my GPS, and how is that going to work when your screen suddenly removes the GPS and advertises McDonald's or whatever, and now I can basically, I have a video in front of me that's going to be playing in the car about, the Big Mac they want me to buy? I mean, that is obviously very concerning. And so now if I have to interact with my car to wipe it out or close it or do whatever, or I get distracted because I'm really hungry and that Big Mac commercial looks good to me, that's a very serious issue. We have laws in the United States right now that do not allow motion in front of a driver, like motion video. So you can't install like a television in front of you and just like start streaming Netflix down the road legally. People do it, but My point being is that if this is essentially what this is, I mean, this is going to be a whole lot of aggravation. I can imagine moving forward that people would say, I'm not getting the next Ford. I've been a Ford person my whole life. I've had a Mustang since the beginning of time or whatever. And now I'm going to go get a Camaro, because a Camaro is not going to do that. That's a Chevy product. So I think this is actually very concerning. This is where we're going. I can see this being prolific when autonomous driving happens, because you're just sitting in your car. And this is what I wrote in my article 5 years ago. It was called Google Doesn't Care About the Driverless Car. They want to be the technology in the car that allows you, as you're driving down the road, to basically get a pop-up as you're passing a store via GPS location or passing a billboard. And it says, oh, you're passing by Best Buy, tap here on your car and you'll get an instant 10% off your purchase, and you tap there and your car drives you into the parking lot, and now you're getting 10%. And Best Buy and Home Depot and McDonald's, et cetera, will pay a pretty penny to the Googles and now apparently the Fords of the world to get that done. So this is coming. Make no mistake, you're going to see advertising in your car probably, I would say, in the next 3 to 10 years or so, but it's here to stay. And as we purchase new cars, they're going to be integrated with cameras that will have that smart system to actually see those billboards, see where you're passing but per GPS location, and start advertising to you. I predicted this like 6 years ago. I think I'm right. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, and please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.